Once upon a time, in a small, cozy town named Willow Creek, lived an old baker named Arthur. He wasn't famous, nor was he rich. His bakery, the Warm Hearth, was a simple place filled with the comforting smell of fresh bread and sweet pastries. Arthur had a kind heart and a philosophy that was as simple as his recipes: give without expecting anything in return. Every morning, long before the sun peeked over the rolling hills, Arthur would be in his bakery, his hands dusted with flour, kneading dough with a gentle rhythm. He baked a little extra each day. One extra loaf of sourdough, a few extra cinnamon rolls, a small apple pie. He didn't do this for profit. He did it for the people of Willow Creek. The first extra loaf always went to Mrs. Gable, a widow who lived down the lane. She was too proud to ask for help, but Arthur knew she struggled. So every morning he would leave the warm loaf on her porch, ring the bell once, and walk away before she could open the door. He never waited for a thank you. The thought of her enjoying a fresh slice of bread with her morning tea was thanks enough. The extra cinnamon rolls were for the children on their way to school. They would often press their faces against the bakery window, their eyes wide with delight. Arthur would step outside, a tray in his hands, and offer them the warm, sticky treats. "A little fuel for learning," he'd say with a wink. The children's joyful giggles were the only payment he ever needed. Their laughter was sweeter than any sugar he used. And the small apple pie? That was for anyone who seemed to be having a tough day. Maybe it was Mr. Henderson, the postman, looking weary from his long route. Or perhaps it was young Clara who had scraped her knee playing in the park. Arthur had a keen eye for drooping shoulders and sad faces. A small, warm pie handed over with a gentle smile had a magical way of making things feel a little better. He never asked what was wrong. He just offered a moment of comfort. One cold autumn, a stranger arrived in Willow Creek. His name was Leo, and he was a writer from the big city. He was cynical and tired, seeking quiet but expecting to find the same selfishness in the countryside that he had left behind. He rented a small cottage near the town square and watched the townspeople with a critical eye, scribbling notes for a story about the hidden flaws of small-town life. He noticed Arthur's daily rituals. He saw the bread on Mrs. Gable's porch. He saw the children's happy faces. He saw the pie being given to a stressed-looking mother with a crying baby. At first, Leo was suspicious. What's his angle? He muttered to himself, "Nobody does something for nothing. He must be trying to build loyalty to make more money in the long run." Determined to uncover Arthur's secret motive, Leo started visiting the bakery every day. He'd buy a coffee and a croissant, sitting in a corner, watching and listening. He observed Arthur greeting every customer by name, asking about their families, offering a kind word. There was no grand performance, just simple, genuine kindness. One afternoon, Leo decided to confront Arthur. "You give away a lot of food," Leo began, trying to sound casual. "It can't be good for business. What do you get out of it?" Arthur smiled, wiping his floury hands on his apron. He looked at Leo, his eyes twinkling. "What do I get?" he repeated softly. "Well, this morning I saw Mrs. Gable tending to her roses. She looked happy. I heard the children laughing as they ran to school, full of energy. And I saw the young mother I gave a pie to yesterday, and she smiled at me, a real, genuine smile. Her baby was sleeping peacefully in her arms." He paused, leaning against the counter. "You see, when you give, a little piece of that joy comes back to you, not in money or in favors. It comes back in the warmth you feel inside. It's like baking bread. You give the dough warmth and time, and it rises. You give kindness, and the whole world feels a little warmer. That's all the payment I need." Leo was speechless. He had been so focused on finding a catch, a hidden transaction, that he had completely missed the simple truth. Arthur wasn't running a business in the way Leo understood it. He was tending to a community. That evening, Leo didn't write about the hidden flaws of Willow Creek. Instead, he wrote about an old baker and his philosophy of giving. He wrote about how kindness wasn't a transaction, but a gift that enriches the giver more than the receiver. The words flowed easily, filled with a warmth he hadn't felt in a long time. The next morning, Leo woke up early. He went to the bakery, but not to watch. He bought 2 extra loaves of bread. He left one on the porch of an elderly man he'd seen struggling with his groceries the day before. He gave the other to a family whose car had broken down by the side of the road. He didn't wait for a thank you. When he walked back past the bakery, Arthur was standing at the door. He didn't say a word. He just nodded at Leo, a knowing and gentle smile on his face. In that silent exchange, Leo understood everything. He had finally felt it, the quiet, profound joy of giving without expecting anything in return. It was a feeling far more valuable than anything money could buy, a warmth that, just like fresh bread, could feed the soul. And so the cynical writer from the city found his new story, not one of darkness, but one of light. He stayed in Willow Creek, his writing filled with a newfound hope and understanding. He learned from the old baker that the greatest rewards in life aren't the ones you receive, but the ones you give away freely with an open heart. The town of Willow Creek continued to thrive, not because of its wealth or its size, but because of the simple, powerful kindness that started each morning in a warm little bakery.